It's Memorial Day weekend, right? Everybody, what's up? That's Callie. I'm Jersey. Welcome to Speak Live. How are you? And if it looks like I'm half bald, that's because I am. I shaved my head. I just feel so freeing, dude. It's like I feel so much cooler, literally and figuratively. Okay, so what have we learned from our moms? And I thought this to myself a couple of nights ago. I was just laying in bed. I was like, yeah, what have I learned from my mom? Now, when people say the things they learn from their mom or dad, this show's about moms. I'm not talking about like, your mom sat you down and taught you how to read and write, or your mom taught you how to make the table or make your bed. I'm not talking about necessarily that. I mean like life stuff. So, but by how they lived, not what they particularly instructed, because I think when a parent or a coach or whoever, you learn by what you see people do and don't do, pro and con. So what are the three things that we have learned from our mothers? I'll let you go first, Magnus. Yeah. So what's one thing that you have learned from your mom?
So this is perfect timing because when we're recording this, it's actually Mother's Day in Sweden.
Oh,
So
damn. Okay.
so that's why I think it's excellent. Yeah, no, so I had a long talk. I usually talk to my mom every weekend, so usually Saturdays. So, but I talked to her yesterday and then again today. Or I tried to get a hold of her, but she didn't answer, pick up. But then she called me later on, so I could actually tell her in person, meaning on the phone at least. So yeah, no, the first thing, well, what I like, one of the major things that I think that my mom is take responsibility. Like you need to take responsibility for your own actions, right?
Okay.
Like don't mess around. If you do something wrong, admit it, make things right.
Well, all right. Nice. That's a good one. And you saw that your mom lived like that, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Good. Yeah. For me, it was money. Not that because we didn't have any money, but I always noticed growing up, like my mother would always like put a couple of dollars away every week for, like, they call it the Christmas fund. So like
Hmm.
September, every week she would put away $5, and I was like, oh, okay. And she didn't say anything. I just noticed her doing that. Or sometimes when we go shopping, she would say, oh, I can't afford this, and so she would put it back on the shelf. So I was like, oh, my mother is very responsible, very good with money. Although, like I said, we didn't really have a lot, but I saw her, glimpses of discipline in her money and how she spent and how she would put stuff on layaway, like save up for it or put it on layaway. So she didn't use a credit card. So I was like, oh, okay. So yeah. So what's your second one?
Then it comes finances. So it's the same thing. My mom is tremendously good with finances. So at one point, she owned a house, a summer house, two apartments.
Oh,
Yeah. So yes. So me and I shouldn't call it, it's a condo here in the States. So me and my mom basically co-own a condo together. That she kind of helped me buy, and then I paid her off over time. So,
okay.
but she's really really good with money. And opposite compared to when my dad was alive, he was the polar opposite. He spent every single dime. He's like, it was like money in his pocket, like they just
Oh,
burned away.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was like they caught flame and just disappeared.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, so I learned more from my mom of actually it's good to when you're in a good situation, you should probably put some away for when things are not that great.
Yeah. Okay. No, excellent. Yeah. The second thing for me would be loyalty. And my mother, well, to the best of my knowledge, never cheated on my dad. But my mother always came home. She never, and I'm not knocking anybody who goes out with the girls. I think it's actually good to go out with the girls.
Hmm.
Even if you do it once a week, I think that's a good thing. But my mother really didn't. So she was just always home, always around. She, yeah, I would never hear my mother. And again, it wouldn't be wrong if my mother said, like, oh, uh, you know, Frank Sinatra was good looking. My mother would never even say that. Like, it was just, you never heard my mother say a comment about any man, not even if it was a movie star. Like, so she was, yeah, very, very, very loyal, still alive, very loyal. So that's good to see that, that.
It's do you think that comes from like religion or
Yeah,
family or
right.
combination.
Yeah, religion and family, right? She's that old school Italian where, right, exactly. She was brought up like that, very religious woman. Brought up, she's an immigrant from Naples, Italy, back from the 40s and 50s. You're right, whole different world. And
Yeah,
maybe once, twice in my life, my mother went out with the girls, and I was happy for her. Like, I want her to do that, But
yeah,
she wasn't somebody that was like, I know women who have kids that every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday they're out at a bar or a club. It's like, really,
yeah.
every week, like, I'm not saying you're cheating, but when I say loyalty too, I guess loyalty like to the family.
Yeah. No. I know. Like
Because you could be cheating, not
it's
having
very
sex
much
with somebody.
it's very much like Southern European kind of like how it works. It's very like generational. Like it's not weird to live together with a lot of generations under one roof, and you have specific rules and things that you need to do. Like it's traditional, but
Yeah,
it's also like functioning. I'm not saying that what we're talking about it's not I'm not want to go into gender or anything like that. It's just that they are very like it is traditional when it comes to family, and children can stay like with their parents for a long time as well too, and
yeah,
I think that we're starting to see that more and more common now in basically, especially in the States and the Western world, but in the States, because it's so expensive of
right.
trying to get your own home and move out.
Yeah, it ain't like it used to be, right? Yeah. So what's
Yeah.
your third
The, the third one. So here's the thing. Like I would say, um, be able to like being controlled in life. Like I'm saying that like being able to take care of yourself and take care of your home, take care of your property, things like that. So it's from everything. Like I'm talking about being able to change tire on a car, being able to fix a flat tire on your bicycle, being able to be out and take care of your backyard, things like that. That I picked up a lot from my mom and also her parents, like my grandparents, but especially my mom is also she's a person that is very multifaceted, if I could say.
right.
She's pretty good at a lot of things.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
And
mother.
she continues to striving on becoming better, educating herself,
God bless.
and new challenges and things like that. So now, for instance, my mom is still she used to learn Italian. She's trying to learn Spanish. She's doing like silversmithery,
Oh,
like
nice.
that. Yeah, so she's doing that. So this is after her retirement. So she's continuously like working on
Awesome.
on like educating herself and challenging herself and becoming better.
Keeps your mind sharp, keeps you healthy.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, for my mother, the third one would be like my mother is not somebody. Well, my mother likes to whine and complain. However, growing up, at least when she raised us, she never really sweated anything. She was never like worried about anything. Like we would have no money, there'd be not enough money for oil to heat the house in the winter, or maybe my father wasn't going to be able to make the rent or the payment for the house. Like my mother never really worried about stuff. She was always like, "Oh, don't worry about it." Like I guess that's a lot of her faith. So she would say, we'll just pray," and I guess things worked out, but yeah, I'm always impressed with, especially, yeah, overall, she's someone who doesn't sweat shit. So
Yeah.
she's like, well, like it's okay. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, so those are the three things for you and I. And I think I wanted to bring that up again because it's not necessarily that your mom or my mom sat us down and told us, but it's just how they live. We watch.
Yeah. Yep.
People watch and listen inadvertently and subconsciously, like, oh yeah. Like I see this, I see that, and so.
But,
Anyway,
but that's also I want to bring that up, and I also want to, since I deal with a lot of children like every day, almost every day. It's seeing that kids are not stupid. They mimic the behavior that they're around. So that's why it's so important to have some kind of standard and set some norms for the kids.
right.
Because if you're not, then it's easily like off the board, and they go wild, because like that's the same. If you're about that life, out partying, like not having any strict rules to follow, that's exactly how they're gonna behave.
Correct. Yeah. So how we live is really how we teach our kids or
Yeah.
students or whoever, right? Even our friends, we can influence our friends by how
Yeah.
we not how we talk.
Yeah.
But, anyways, so
I was gonna say, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
right. Well, there's an old phrase in America: "Don't talk about it, be about it."
Yeah. Yeah.
So just be it, do it, baby, and that's it. So Magnus, great session as always, great segment, and thank you, everybody. Watch more and like and subscribe. We're crawling up onto 300 subscribers, which is, hey, we're earning every bit of it, baby. So that's
one follower at a time.
Telling you, man, we're doing it, baby. We're doing it. All right, Callie, I'm out of here. Jersey, we're out of here. Thank you, everybody. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you.